Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we just got back from Tennessee and I wanted to share with you what I would do again, what I wouldn't do again, and what I should have did or would like to do. So if you want some knowledge that I have from how we spent our vacation in Tennessee, check this video out. Alright, so I will say we had a lot of fun in Tennessee. I actually have my little list right here of the do's and the don'ts that I, would do again, wouldn't do again, and just explain to you why I wouldn't. But I'm going to, of course, because I can't remember everything and I don't want to forget anything. I'm going to be looking at my little cheat sheet. So I'm going to kind of take it day by day. And then for those of you who are new to my channel, I actually just completed our vlogcation. So we actually just vlogged for 7 days straight, technically 8, but I combined our drive home on vlogcation day number 7. So you can check that out on my video and you can see everything that I'm talking about. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so you can see all the fun stuff that we do. We vlog, we do specialty videos like this. We just have fun. We would love to have you as part of our YouTube family. So, on to Tennessee. Of course I would go to Tennessee again. Absolutely loved it. The drive was amazing. I will say that the drive there, the last hour, 45 minutes, we drove through Knoxville. I wasn't as crazy as driving home. It was very stop and go. But driving home, it was a nice flow. We went a different route and I absolutely loved the route that we took home. So that's one thing I learned from, is to research the drive and see what other ways they have. Now, since we've been there again, my husband and I would absolutely love to drive the opposite way of how we left to come in and to come out. So, all right, so we actually rented an Airbnb. Absolutely would do an Airbnb again. We actually were pretty high in the mountains. Paul and I said that it was fine, but what scared us is when we drove, the driveway was a dip. It was crazy. If we didn't have my Volkswagen, we don't even know if the Ram would have made it up and down. We probably would have spun out, but 4-wheel drive, he said, is a must. So at least with the road that we went down. So I would probably think the next time, we of course want to try different Airbnbs, but Airbnbs are for us, so much better than going to a hotel. We actually would like to be closer to town. Paul said something about being lower in the mountain because I actually was very scared of driving in the mountains because I would see the dips and there was no guardrails, and to be on the passenger side, for me, it was really scary. So that's just something that I would recommend for myself. And if you guys are crazy about driving the mountains and have that fear with the driving, you might want to stay lower. Now, walking and everything like that, we walked up a little bit our mountain because it was a little bit more up and down, and I was fine, Paul was fine, the girls were fine. So like I said, but in the future, we know next time we want to stay closer to town, because I think to get to town, because we had to drive through the mountains because the speed limit was 30, 35, it took us 15 minutes, where if we were closer to town where we found this other Airbnb, we were boom right there within 2 minutes. So, and I didn't really like to leave at night because I didn't know how it was. Now on the last day, we did go somewhere at night. We went in, when it was still light out, but then it was dark on the way, and I actually was better driving in the dark than in the day, so in the light. So yeah, so then it doesn't bother me now, but I know for the future. So we actually, since we were in an Airbnb, and yes, I'm marking off what I'm, already telling you guys. We did grocery shopping. However, we thought we did grocery shopping for 4 or 5 days, including breakfast, and I think we bought way too much food. We did bring way too much food because we did actually, we came home with some food, but we also stopped at a couple more restaurants than we wanted to and that we planned for. So, and it was just because we started out later in the day and we were starving by the time we, you know, it was supposed to be like, we ended up eating like a late lunch, early dinner. So around like 2, 3 o'clock is when we would eat, and we never eat at that time. So we figured we would be home to have lunch before then, and we had a late breakfast. So it was just, I probably would suggest if you guys do an Airbnb and you need a grocery shop, I would only buy enough food for a couple days. I mean, like for sure breakfast, like we bought stuff for pancakes, but that was one day. And then we did buy eggs, and that was good for one day. And then we needed more eggs. And then we found out that after we bought more eggs, we didn't even use them all. We had to, like, the last day again. We had extra eggs, but then we bought cereal. And then we brought for lunch, like we had lunch meat. So we had lunch meat, and then we bought a few days to grill on the grill. We ended up grilling only once. So we had a bunch of, you know, grilling stuff left over. However, we also bought frozen for like quick stuff. Never even used any of the frozen besides the french fries, because the french fries we used with the burgers when we grilled. So that is one thing I would not do. I would completely stick with stuff that does not go in the freezer and does not go in the fridge. So if you want to buy extra snack stuff instead of the frozen, like I said, buy like bags of chips and munchies and popcorn like that, because that actually was, you know, easier obviously to bring home. The kids could eat it in the car, there and back. A lot of the stuff that we did bring that was non-refrigerated or frozen, we brought that there and brought it back. We didn't really buy that at the store. So actually, you know, I don't know, I feel like we came home with more food than we should have, but that's okay. So yeah, just when you are going to the grocery store, I would completely just don't buy as much. I rather go to the grocery store more than come home with more food, if that makes sense. All right, so with that, before I get into the activities that we did, I will have to say that the next time we go to Tennessee, I would like to plan a lot better. We went with like, we knew we wanted to go to a barbecue place. We knew we wanted to go to a certain place for breakfast. And we knew we wanted to go to Gatlinburg, and we knew we wanted to go to Pigeon Forge. But I think it would have been better to research what was at each place to kind of figure out what we wanted to do, because when we got there, like we just went to Gatlinburg just for the town. We ended up going to Gatlinburg for 3 days randomly because we missed stuff that we didn't know about. And Pigeon Forge, at least that, we didn't have to pay for parking, but Gatlinburg, we had to pay for parking every single time. So planning, I would say, is a must. And I know it's hard with kids, but at least if you get somewhat of an idea, it is beneficial. So, and then one more thing before I get into the activities. Packing. Next time I know, I am going to pack less, especially clothes. I know bathroom stuff's really hard. I did use every single bathroom thing except for my nail stuff, because the girls wanted to do their nails up there in Self-Care Sunday, so I had face masks, and we never did any face masks. But I mean, that's like very little. Clothes, I probably would bring half the amount that I brought between me, Mason, who's 2, and Bella, who's 5. The other girls and Paul, and even Paul said he would pack less stuff. They packed their own stuff, so they really didn't have like a lot. Like the 2 girls had 2 duffel bags, and that was easier, but like I had a regular suitcase. I probably could have put Mason's and mine in one suitcase. Bella had a little duffel bag too, but it was like packed to the bare top. So we had like, I bought for myself and Bella 3 dresses. Yeah, 1 would have been sufficient. I did bring my cowboy boots. Mason didn't even wear his cowboy boots, but Bella and I did. I would have brought like 2 pairs of shorts for each kid. You know, me, I stayed in tank tops. Like I literally wore like this type of tank tops every single day, and I wore them a couple times, because what I was gonna say is, if you get an Airbnb, if you have a washer and dryer, you don't need to pack all this stuff. So that is a really good tip for you guys, is honestly, like, it's vacation. It's not like you're at home. I did do laundry a couple times when I was out there, and it was fine. So I know, like, I brought, I'm not kidding, 3 different pairs of wedges, a nude, a white, and a black. The white was actually for Riley, but the nude and the black ones I brought for myself, because I bought a dressy short outfit, and that goes with that. And then if I decided to wear my other dresses, you know, the new ones match. So I'm like, no, next time I should bring like 1 cowboy boot, one pair of gym shoes, one pair of sandals, which I normally wear there, and then one dressy shoe if needed. But like I said, the wedges, I didn't even use them at all. So, and then like a couple of the other stuff, like I bought like a bunch of different pajamas, but it's like a lot of the times that when we would go to bed, whatever tank top I was in, I wore that and comfy shorts. So it was like a waste to even bring like t-shirts and stuff for me for bed. And same thing with Bella. I think I bought her like, Bella and Mason, I think I brought them like 4 or 5 pairs of pajamas to wear like each pajama twice. But it's like, why? We had a washer and dryer. So like I said, pack less actually is very helpful. Plus then when you have the car ride, and the car ride there wasn't bad, but if you buy souvenirs and you have bring more stuff home, that helps with room. All right, now into the activities that we did. Okay, so when we were first there and we went down to Gatlinburg, we actually did a whiskey tasting and a wine tasting. Amazing. And they were free, which was really nice. Now, we actually did the whiskey tasting and we paid extra, I think it was like $5.50 for trying like 13 different flavors, but they include 4. So if you want to just do tastings, you can absolutely do tastings for free and not have to spend anything. But the whiskey, I think because the whiskey was something different and you can't get that around here in Chicago where we're from, it was awesome. And then the wine tasting that we did was I liked the wines that were different. I'm a Cabernet girl, did not stick with Cabernet, and Sauvé Blanc is my favorite white wine. But when we would try these wines, I tried the ones that were like cotton candy, pineapple rosé, like they were very, very different. So I liked to try the different ones because I didn't want to keep spending money on tastings. And then bottles, you don't have to buy bottles. Now, my suggestion is we ended up doing a wine trail, which I absolutely love. We did not find out about this wine trail till day 6. And technically we were only there 7 full days. Now, with the wine trail, the bad thing is I just wish I knew before. And not only do I wish I knew before, I wish that I was also told like, there's multiple of them. Didn't know that. So with this wine trail, we had a place by us that was 3 minutes away. We left the kids at home for nap time, the 2 little ones for relax times because we did some stuff in the morning. Paul and I went to go to this winery, found out, they're like, oh, are you doing the wine trail? What are you talking about? So we got this card. You go to stops 1, 2, and 3. The 3rd stop, you got a free gift. Then we found out it stops 4 and then 5. You complete all 5 of them, you get another free gift. So we ended up getting wine glasses, we got some wine mugs, our whiskey mugs. So it was just really nice. And like I said, you don't have to buy a bottle of wine, but at least with the tastings, like, yes, they are free. Yes, you can go ahead and buy more tastings, but we did 2 wineries in one day and then 3 the other day. So it was perfect. And it was very nice. Some of them had where you could have cheese and stuff with it in a sit down place, but we only did like the wine tastings. So like I said, wine trails are awesome. I don't know if the whiskey trail, I'm sure maybe they did. It's something I would like to go ahead and research. If you guys know, comment down below and let me know. But I will say, like, next time I told Paul, I'm like, I would do the wine trail every single time to 1, try different things, and 2, it's free. Might as well. But at least like with Gatlinburg, the reason why we ended up going a 3rd day was because 3 of them were in Gatlinburg, boom, 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 and we were actually going out there for breakfast, and I'm like, okay, well, it works out. Otherwise, we were not gonna drive all the way just to do a wine trail and pay for parking. And I believe the other one's in Pigeon Forge, but obviously we didn't get to that side. So there was that. All right, then we did Ripley's. They had a package when we went to the aquarium. We went to the aquarium first. They had a package where it was like, I think $20 more and a couple dollars more for Bella to do 3 activities. So we paid for the aquarium, then you can get whatever other ones that were included. The aquarium, oh my goodness, is beautiful. Your kids would love it. You get to pet stingrays and feed them, and they have a little penguin parade, and the penguins are walking by, and it was just really, really cute. It was just, like, Bella absolutely loved it. Even my older girls loved it. And Mason was so fascinated with the sharks because you're at this one point, you're going down a tunnel, and it's like you're underwater. And we saw the saw shark, the one that's hammerhead, not hammerhead, the one that saws. I forgot what they're called, but yeah, one of the, you know, sharks, and they're just plopped on there. And so it was just really cool, and he was fascinated. So if I go there again, I would absolutely probably all the time go to the aquarium. Well worth the money. Now, we decided to do Ripley's Believe It or Not. There was that. There was a haunted place, which we couldn't go with the little ones. There was a 5D place, which I'm like, I don't think we could go with the little ones. I think there was 2 of them we couldn't go. And there was mini golfing in Gatlinburg. Well, to do all 3 in one day was too much. You actually get a year to use the rest of them. So we decided to go after lunch. We decided to go to Believe It or Not. I don't think I would do that again. It was fine for one time, but to keep doing it, like, I don't know. It wasn't as good as we thought it was gonna be. There was a lot of interactive things. Mason was in the stroller the whole time, so it's like, I didn't want him to go ahead and be touching everything, and the kids were just running around, and then other people are bumping into you, so I wasn't too fond of that. But to go for one time to try it out, I absolutely, especially if you do that pass. Now, the third thing we did, we actually did the next day. We went mini golfing. No, we didn't go all the way to Gatlinburg because there was one in Pigeon Forge. There was 2 different mini golfings. We did the farm one. That was awesome because I want to say the mini golf took us like 2.5 hours. So it was really nice to go ahead and do that a separate day or in the evening instead of staying all day in Gatlinburg because it was a little bit more busy. Pigeon Forge wasn't as busy, but the mini golf was so cute. The farm one had 3 different farm things. There was like a pig one, a chicken one, and a cow one maybe, but we did the chicken. It was really cute. It was Bella's first time mini golfing. And it was a lot of fun. So the mini golf is awesome to do on vacation. Then we went to a couple of different restaurants. We went to in Gatlinburg, I don't want to butcher this. Boudicca's Celtic Pub. It's Boudicca Celtic Pub. It's in the Village in Gatlinburg. That is the best Irish food I've ever had. Amazing. You guys need to go to that place. I could not rant and rave enough about it. They don't have an Instagram page. I didn't see anything, but I did post about it and showed the food and what we got. It was just amazing. You need to try that place out. And it's hidden, so not many people know about it. Like I forget what kind of beer Paul had, but I had a pear seltzer or cider, pear cider. Oh, so good, so refreshing. You need to try that place. Then we actually went to a barbecue place called Smith and Sons. No, you're not gonna know it's a barbecue place because it doesn't say barbecue, but their barbecue is absolutely amazing. You can see in one of my other videos. I actually got the catfish. That catfish was amazing, and I couldn't even finish it because the pieces were like this big. I actually finished it the next day, and the catfish the next day was even better. So Paul had the barbecue sample, so if you want to actually try everything, I love samples because I like to sample everything for next time, but and the prices were reasonable. So if you want to try a barbecue place out in Gatlinburg, Smith and Sons was absolutely amazing. And then the last thing we did food-wise in Gatlinburg, and we did this on our last full day that we were there, we went to Crockett's Breakfast Camp. That was the best breakfast I have ever had. So good. I actually got an omelet. I've never been able to finish an omelet before. It was just so delicious. The potatoes were really good. Paul had this steak sampler thing. I wish they had like a sample of like their pancakes, and because I've been to Cracker Barrel and they have a sampler thing, and I wish they, like I said, had something like that, but they didn't. They had grits. Now their thing is they have, for like an appetizer and it's breakfast, is they had a cinnamon roll for everybody to share. It was awesome. So they had 2 different kinds. They had a regular one with the glaze on there, and then they had a fried one with like a caramel glaze on there with powdered sugar. We did the regular one. We didn't know if we wanted to do the fried one, but the other thing they have is they have pancakes that are literally like an inch thick. It was crazy. Audrey had the pancakes, Riley had the waffles, and they actually split it to share half and half. And then Mason and Bella had pancake with eggs, and they just loved it too. But you guys want to try that breakfast place out? Like, Paul really wanted to go to, like I said, a barbecue place. and a breakfast place, like that was a must. And that breakfast place was amazing. So again, it's called Crockett's Breakfast Camp. It's in it's in Vlogcation day number 7. So you can check out all the food. All right, so another thing, I'm not gonna tell you the last food place we went to because that was like one of the last, I'll talk about that last, but some of the other activities we did, Paul actually took out the girls go-karting. They paid for a bracelet, it was like 5 different things. It's good and bad. He did where you could do go-karts, laser tag, neon golf. You got a card to go in the arcade. It's fine for the older ones. However, it is not for small kids. Mason couldn't go on anything until he was 3. So he had nothing. Besides mini golf, he could sit there with me and he sat in the stroller. He didn't really go ahead and play mini golf. Bella, it was really cute at the one track that they went to because we did this for 2 days. They went one night and then we went during the day after breakfast. We actually, Bella tried go-karting and she freaked out. So it was a waste for her and she's 5 years old. They did have another track where they went for her age. It was like, I think 3 to 6, but we weren't gonna drive all the way to that place again. And this is all in Pigeon Forge and then come all the way back to this other place. So it was fine. Now, they played laser tag. They enjoyed it, but it's something we can do out here. And then the other thing that they had was neon mini golf. We have it out here. So, I mean, it was fine for like something for them to do in the evening, like when I brought the little kids home, but it's probably not something I would do again. It was on the strip of Pigeon Forge. They have a lot of stuff on there. They had like a wax museum and that had like 3 different things, and that's something I want to do next time. We didn't get a chance to try that out, but we didn't know if we really were gonna like it because like I said, when we did the Ripley's Believe It or Not, we tried that and we're like, well, maybe it's gonna be just like that. But it was actually cheaper, so I'm like, well, maybe that, maybe Outlet Mall, and they had like some Titanic things. So I'm like, I need to research what else is out there because we for sure are gonna go there again. We heard the fall time is great, so that's probably when we're gonna go. And we drove. It's a really nice 8 hours, so it's not that bad for us. And I would rather drive than fly anyways, because sometimes it's more of a convenience, because we did have the dog with us too. To drive with the car seats, like when the old kids get older and they don't need car seats or they just need boosters, it'll be a little bit easier, but right now it's easier to drive. So a couple more things we did. Oh, back to planning. I probably next time would plan dinners and lunch going out, because when we were trying to research the breakfast camp, Paul knew. He knew from a YouTube video that he saw that we were gonna go there for breakfast. But the Celtic the Celtic pub, we didn't know about. That was a spur thing. And then the barbecue place, that was a spur thing. So I would like to try to research next time what would be better places to go out to dinner or for lunch. Especially Paul and I really wanted to go out to dinner by ourselves one time, and we did find a place, and I'll tell that one in a little bit. But I don't know, it was just like, it was hard, and then some places you had to make reservations, and we're like, well, I guess we can't do that. So planning dinner and lunch is also another key. And then one of the other activities we did, we actually saw a waterfall. Would I do it again? No, it was on the side of the road when we were coming back from to go back to our Airbnb, and it was nice. It was kind of a pain with the little ones, like they don't want to go in the water. Paul's the only one that went in the water. The older ones were like, why are we here? It wasn't like an actual waterfall. It was just like a river, and it was nice to see one time, but just like I said, I wouldn't do it again. I would probably research to see if there's more nature things to go look at and more like little kid friendly, because I'm just like so afraid, like with the water, like you got Mason and Bella going in 2 different directions, and to try to grab them. I just like to keep them safe as much as possible. But yeah, I don't know if I would do the waterfall again. I mean, it was a nice concept, but you'll see the little picture of my thing where what kind of waterfall it was. And then the last place we went to, this restaurant was amazing. So it was called the Dancing Bear Lodge. We looked at their cabins, and we might go there to be different next time, because they have a Appalachian bistro there, and It was, oh my gosh, right up Paul and I's alley. They had different shareables. So we got some appetizers. Their charcuterie board, best charcuterie board I ever had. It had one set of cheese on there. Then it had smoked salmon, like some meat thing. It wasn't like different, just like regular meats and cheeses. Like, I can never say my favorite meat. I can't even think of what it's called right now. But it had like salami, and it had something else on there. And it just had like a jam, and it had olives. But the crackers, like they actually gave us enough crackers to completely eat the whole board. So I've never been to a place like that that actually had, you know, you didn't have to ask for more crackers. But we did that, and we did an appetizer of mussels, and we actually split a meal. We got steak with mushrooms, and it was such a good steak. And it was just really nice to have all that stuff. And of course, Paul always likes dessert. So he goes, oh, why don't we get some dessert? Nothing was feeling me. If you look over to the side, they have a campfire, and there's a side table of graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate to make s'mores. So you don't have to buy dessert. You can just go make s'mores at the campfire, and the kids would actually love it too. I actually made a few of them to bring home to the kids since it was just me and him. But if you stay there, you could do that every single night. It was just, the view and everything was absolutely amazing. So I would definitely want to go there again, just for even one night for Paul and I. But it was just, the food, like I said, was delicious. But that is everything that we did. Like I said, check out my vlogcation, days 1 through 7, and you can see everything in detail what I explained. But I cannot wait to go back to Tennessee. Of course, I would like to do other things before I go, but even just, Paul even said, he's like, we can go for 5 days. We went for 7, but obviously with driving, it was 8 days we were gone because we drove there, and then obviously you drive back home. I told him, I'm like, that's the problem. When you drive somewhere for that, like over 4 hours, I'll say anything under 4 hours, you're good, but anything over, well, like that between that 4 and 8 gap, it's hard. Like that first night you're gonna be tired, like, and obviously, you know, that night's wasted, but it would be a nice time to just go out to dinner. And I don't know, the 7 days wasn't enough, or was enough at first, but then at the end when we were like really getting to the swing of things on what we really wanted to do, the last 2 days, days 6 and 7, I'm like, there really was, I felt like that we weren't, you know, we didn't have any time, because I know like we wanted to go, they want to go river rafting, but it was too cold for the water, and then we didn't have shoes, and it was just, that's something that we want to do next time. We didn't go to Dollywood. Paul really wanted to go to water park, and I'm like, why? Why are we going to water park when we can do that where we live? I know it's supposed to be really good, but I didn't want to spend that much money on a water park and an amusement park. So I'm like, well, maybe next time we'll do something like that, because for me, like until Mason's 3, which isn't for a couple months, it's kind of hard because he can't do anything, and I don't want to sit there where everybody else gets to do whatever, and then, you know, basically just be the babysitter. But Paul's like, oh, he can go in the lazy river, but he's kind of scared. He's like hesitant at certain things, so I didn't even know if it would work. So I just said, I'm like, just let's kibosh the water park. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it gives you some kind of information on what I liked and what I didn't like. And like I said, check out my vlogcation. There's 7 days. All of them are up right now, and you can see everything. A lot of it's not talking, a lot of it's just a lot of just video, but you get to see everything. Check it out, see what you guys like and what you didn't like, and then let me know in the comments below when you guys went to Tennessee, or those who have not been to Tennessee, what I didn't talk about, what you would have done. I'm really curious, because like I said, I do want to go ahead and plan another Tennessee trip, maybe like a 5-day, like 4-night, 5-day thing. Just, you know, because it's not that bad of a drive to do a shorter trip. It's just, you know, only if you're doing like a few things that you really want to do. But don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you can see all of our other videos, our vlogs, our specialty videos, and then I will see you guys in our next one. Bye.